changes to his cabinet and senior government lineup, and one of the beneficiaries of the reshuffle was the former Immigration Department Director General Seedy Muktar Touray, moving from immigration to the Gambia Police Force as Inspector General. Now, 10 months on the job, IGP Touray, in a rare, if not unprecedented decision, has chosen to come to West Coast Radio to not only discuss his vision for the Gambia Police Force, but also to take Coffee Time listeners' questions about policing and internal security. We sincerely appreciate him for his kind presence. Now, I'm usually very informal with these senior government officials. I simply call him Seedy. Seedy, welcome to West Coast Radio.
Thank you very much, Uncle P.
Yeah, congratulations on the appointment. What's your vision for the Gambia Police Force?
Well, the vision remains the same. We are going to align it with the general vision of Gambia Police Force, which is to provide an excellent service, protecting and serving the people of the Gambia and residents.
So you spent all those years in immigration, you almost became part of the furniture at Immigration Department, and just like that, the president calls you up and says, I'm moving you to the Gambia Police Force. How much of a challenge was that at the beginning?
Well, in life, one must be ready to confront challenges. Actually, the appointment came as a surprise on that fateful day of Friday, the 15th of March. After closing from work, I was on my way coming back home, almost approaching Denton Bridge, when I got a call from the executive that I am to report to the office of the president at 1500 hours. I tried to question the caller, what is it all about? But he said, when you are called by the executive, you don't ask questions. Now, as the driver turned, heading back to Banjul, 5 minutes later, the same caller called to say, if you are coming, please come with Assistant Director General of Immigration, Mr. Ibrahim Abayembu. I adhered to this and called Ibrahim.
Did you suspect what was going to happen?
No, I don't. I called Ibrahim, who was almost at Sting Corner. He also turned around, but I told him, actually, come and meet me in the office. I have an assignment for you. So he came. I told him, well, this was the call that I got. So be prepared, we go at 1500 hours.
Did you fear being sacked? Because there was a time when the chief executive called you, especially on a Friday, you guessed what was coming.
Well, we all agree with the new dispensation, it's a completely different ball game. Those are things of the past.
Absolutely.
Actually, I did not fear anything because I knew very well after 5 years, 10 months at the helm of affairs at the GID, I knew the job that was being done was commended by a lot of people. So actually, I did not fear that I was going to be sacked.
10 months, on the job now. How have you found the past 10 months?
Again, I will say the beginning was very challenging. But as we move in, we realize that, we are trying to stabilize the institution. And this encompasses, a lot of issues that has to be brought on the table. Every leader have your own vision. Every leader, you want to transform the institution. The challenge that you are confronted with, you want to ensure that, those challenges, are mitigated.
Mm-hmm. Was one of those challenges morale? Because you elevated, 900 police to various levels?
Yes, those were vacancies that I actually found there.
Okay.
And it is my belief that officers need to be commended for the hard work that they are doing. And you cannot commend somebody without motivating him or her. So the vacancies I found there, most of them, I decided not to create any excess because the personnel management office also are not too amused, to create ranks or give ranks, that you don't have the number of slots. So we sat as a promotion board and we invited the personnel management office, writing to them to tell them that we want to convene a board meeting, which is the promotion board. So they responded positively and 2 of their senior officials were in attendance. That's how the board was conducted. Mm-hmm.
And for the lower ranks, I suppose once those people were elevated, vacancies were created there. Have you filled those vacancies?
In fact, as we speak now, hopefully Monday, we will commence the training of, more than 1,000 police officers that has gone on extensive, recruitment process. So the creation of those vacancies is as a result of those promotions. So we are going to start this, by next Monday.
And of course, with promotion, some people, start being entitled to certain perks. And I know that transportation is a major problem for the police. if somebody had gone from chief inspector to what is it, assistant commissioner or
assistant superintendent,
assistant superintendent, and they are entitled, to personal transportation, is that available?
Personal transportation, logistics is a challenge, but happy to report that the year ending last year, 2024, we realized massive logistical support. One from the central government, they procured 7 brand new pickups for us. Our partners also, GPST, that's the German police support team, as well as GIZ. Due to the partnership between us and them, the projects that we are jointly implementing also recognize the procurement of few vehicles and other logistical support. This support, goes a long way, to help the police in our operations.
I know that, institutions change and they introduce changes every now and again. There was a time when every policeman, every policewoman had, I think you call it regiment number.
Yes.
That doesn't seem to exist anymore.
No, it's still existing.
You hardly see them. I mean, your PRO is here. What is his? I can't read it from his outfit.
It is somehow replaced with name tags. As you can see, the uniform he is wearing.
Yeah.
Today being a Tuesday, majority of senior police officers, starting from his rank all the way to the IGP, will wear this blue safari. Huh? We try to have that standardized wearing of uniform so that it becomes very unique in every given day. Okay. But of course, there are challenges that are associated with this, given the fact that we don't have all the wherewithal to provide adequate uniform supply for each individual police officer. So we realize we come up with a mechanism where every Monday, senior police officers will wear the white safari. Okay. Then Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
So if you were coming here yesterday, you would have been in white?
Certainly I was in white yesterday.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I see these, different colors, and I ask myself, well, I mean, they are spoiled for choice now. What's behind the color coding?
Well, that is it. We want what the senior officer in Banjul wears in a given day. The same uniform will be the one the police officer in Basse will wear. But then, like I earlier mentioned, we don't have all what it takes to supply each and every one. So this stops on Wednesdays. So Thursdays and Fridays, it's optional. But what we did last year, we supply each police officer, ranging from the rank of chief inspector down, 2 sets of uniform. Moving forward, the warrants are yet to be released from Finance Ministry, but we have to check in that particular budget line. If it is adequate enough, we will also go to Mr. Malik Mendy, because we want this to be direct opportunity for Gambians. It is Mr. Mendy that we contract, to be showing our uniforms for us.
I'll start a tailoring business very soon. And then you'll have a Mendy and a Gomez fighting for police contracts.
Actually, he's doing a phenomenal job for us, and he's a very, very nice person.
Agreed. Yeah. And you hear that, during colonial days and just after independence, every morning, police officers would line up and their seniors would come and inspect, their dress from top to bottom. If your shoe was not well polished, woe betide thee. Is that practice still ongoing?
It's ongoing. From Monday to Thursday, we call Muktar Parade. This is the platform where senior officers will come down to speak to police officers at the headquarters. This same trend is replicated in all the regions. The commissioner, who is the IGP of that region, will also have a particular day where the IG himself will come down. I take it upon myself every month at least once. And this is the platform I go to discuss with them and also hear them out. What are the challenges they are confronted with? How do they think we can better the functions of the police? But as we move into the new year, there are also town halls that are created in all the regions. And again, this is the platform where the police welfare fund, the finances of the police are being discussed, because the welfare fund is contributed by each and every police officer. So how much is accrued for the year under review? It's important to share this information with police officers. And then you also ask them, what do they think that money should be utilized for? So these are all things that we come outright to explain to them, so that each and every police officer will know that this is how your finances are managed. And this goes for better fiduciary management as well.
And I think you were in the National Assembly where you disclosed that in excess of 100 million was raised in 2024, is that right? Or was that when you were still in immigration?
No, that was when I was with the police, as at that
with
time.
The police.
Yes.
So how does the police make its money?
From various court fines, not court fines, on the spot fines, gun licenses, and the contracts like driver's license, because that is a BOT contract. So all those monies, when you accrue them together, it goes in. In fact, for the year on the review 2024, we scored more than 300 million.
And when you hear accusations, I mean, because obviously if you make, so much money, it means that spot fines are being implemented. When you hear accusations that the police take money from you, they don't give you a receipt, and because they don't give you a receipt, there's no record of the financial transaction, it goes into their pockets. How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't be defensive on this. It's difficult to manage human beings, but then, as a way of trying to curb that bad act from individual police officers, we come up with very tough measures. In fact, as I'm sitting here, I'm not happy to be saying this, but yesterday, I fired 2 police officers.
Oh, wow.
Yes, two fired police officers.
What for?
If you can recall, a video went viral. A police officer, molesting a boyfriend and a girlfriend at the beach some time ago.
Oh, it's good because there was a question to that effect. What was done about that? Yes.
Well, let the question come, but I have very good answers.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the officer was fired.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get into greater detail once we get to that, because we asked people to send their questions in, and they have sent their questions in. And while we are on this matter of molestation, what's your position on women in the police force? Everywhere you have, men dominating, you hear that women are crowded out, they are elbowed out, they are not allowed to grow. I mean, what will Seedy Muktar Touray do, or what can he promise the female police officers that are currently in the force? I mean, what hope can he give them that even they too can rise up to become IGP one day?
Of course, they have all the chance to become an IG. We have very knowledgeable, highly educated female police officers. In fact, we drafted in, a senior female police commissioner, Aminyasi, to be part of the senior management team. We sit every day from 8:15 in the morning up to 10 a.m. to discuss matters on the general governance of policing in this country. Madam Nyasi, as a commissioner, she is the one responsible for Banjul region. She is the most senior female police officer. So she is part of the senior management team of Gambia Police Force.
How far from the position of Assistant Inspector General of Police is she?
Her next
promotion would be
Assistant Inspector General.
Okay,
yes.
very, very good. Yes. And how young is he? I mean, we're looking at the possibility of having the first ever female IGP.
She's of the same age with myself.
Ah, okay. Yes. Well, no chance for her then, because you
No, there is. Oh. There is.
Well, if you're promoted to minister.
I'm not thinking of this, Peter. That's not on my plate for now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure the questions are coming in thick and fast. Let's talk about the recent visit you had. This big visitor from Senegal, your counterpart. What was the idea behind having him come to the Gambia?
Well, I did not suggest this to him, but this is someone that I knew since I was heading the immigration. Incidentally, he was also the head of immigration Senegal. And we all both got elevated almost at the same time.
Oh, really?
To these positions.
Sometimes fate has a very queer way of working.
Precisely. So I took it upon myself to speak with him. Of course, I talk to him regularly, and I invited him to come officially. Then he told me, I did not, let me correct myself, I did not invite him to come. I suggested to him for a visit. And I said, no, I think, I should be the first person to come.
Oh,
yeah, and that was very unprecedented to me. And immediately I agree. By that time, I was even out of the country. I was in Kigali, also on the invitation of the IGP of Rwanda, Mr. Felix Namuhoranye, a very good person, a good friend of mine.
Oh, you can call their names. Some of them are very difficult to call.
A good man as well. So he came, Ma'am Seydou. He spent, a couple of days with us here. We had very fruitful discussion. This is someone, who is almost very vast in general policing, share ideas, and we prepared an MOU this MOU, indicates, the actual needs of Gambia Police Force and how we can better collaborate in terms of, fighting crime, in the two countries. Because if a criminal commits an act in the Gambia here, wherever he or she wants to run to, he must have to pass through Senegal.
True.
Yeah. So we realize that they are very strategic partners for us, and the MOU, has those details, embedded in it. Yeah.
And what's his promise?
No, yeah, certainly he's going to cooperate.
Okay.
Certainly.
And what did he request of the Gambia? What did he request of you?
Well, they also need certain assistance from us, because criminals are committing crime in Senegal and they are running into the Gambia as a safe haven. In fact, all the successes that we had in handing over criminals to Interpol in Senegal, sometimes all the way in Karang here, we catalog all these things and share with this. But when he was also coming, he came with, for them, their setup is slightly different with us. The head of immigration, the head of drug law enforcement, public safety, the judicial, they are all under the IGP. So he came with the head of the immigration, he came with the head of the drug squad, in fact, 5 department heads.
Oh, wow.
So what we also did here, we invited the head of GID, Mr. Mbu, and invited the head of drug law enforcement, Mr. Cisse Demba. So they all came, and we organized them to meet with their counterparts. So by the time we went into the MOU, he is already au fait with all what Gambia security has done in collaboration with their Senegalese counterparts.
Just so that, you have a smoother working relationship, would it not be okay to also maybe set up our internal security system to mirror what they have? So that the head of immigration is under you, the head of law enforcement is under you, do we have head of public safety? I thought that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, the head of public safety here, it equates to the head of our operations pillar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the operations
that's already under you.
Exactly,
okay.
exactly. But this is more or less a francophone setup, and it's slightly different with the anglophone setup. I think we are good with this.
We're good with this?
Yeah,
okay, all right. Yeah. Talk to me about community policing, because they say that wherever community policing works, crime, is minimized. But, crime has been like this one time, like that another time.
Well, from the statistics that we have,
yes,
which I can willingly share, it's on the decline, steadily.
Very good.
I will not say significantly, but steadily.
Very good.
But then,
is that because community policing is working?
It's really working. In fact, in partnership, with GIZ, the caravan has gone, 2-3 times, last year, countrywide. And right now, the community policing department of Gambia Police Force are even engaged in schools. And these are always a means of, fighting crime or crime prevention. Because if the children know all what it takes, it is very easy also for them to run away from those kind of, bad acts that will constitute a crime. So the community policing caravan, the head of the unit, together with a female lawyer, police officer, with GIZ, and also, with civil society organizations, goes countrywide to all the regions, targeting, major villages and towns, to conduct, their outreach programs.
Okay. We are with IGP, Inspector General of Police, Seedy Muktar Touray. I think today history is being made. I can't remember ever in the history of this country where an Inspector General of Police went to a radio station, especially a live radio station, on a live program at a radio station to take your questions. I have many more of my own questions, but since we advise people to also contribute, let's start with them. Peter, it's great you have such a level-headed man in the person of the IGP. Please, he needs to be coming to this program for periodic updates on such a very important institution like the police. What do you think of that?
Well, I thank the caller or the person
the
texter. The issue of coming to the radio regularly or
that's a conversation for a different day.
Yes, that's a completely different.
The man whose job is that, is to my right. Exactly, yes. I know, Sisao. Yes. Good morning, Uncle Peter. Can you kindly ask the IGP why the withdrawal of police officers assigned to magistrates, it's affecting their work? And this is coming from Alex Badunyang. We always like when people sign off at the end of their messages so that it doesn't appear as I'm sitting here just, inventing messages. So why the withdrawal of magistrate? It was, front page news the past few days.
I won't delve into that too much because 1300 hours today, we are called to a meeting at the office of the Chief Justice, and the subject matter to be discussed is this very question that he asked. But just to touch a little bit on it, we conducted a threat assessment premised on the fact that we have a lot of guard duty stations, 305 to be precise, where police officers, are conducting, mounting guard duties there. Now, we realized that out there in some of those guard stations, we have less and less number of police officers, to perform their duties. Now, after this threat assessment, we realized that, actually the threat is not very imminent. So the decision was informed by this. Perhaps we should have notified the judiciary about this decision. But like I said, we're going to discuss this today. And certainly, we will reach a common ground on the matter. Very good.
7711599 if you want to send in a text message, or 9910959, and if WhatsApp, +220-9232-333. Good morning, Uncle Peter. I wanted to congratulate IGP Seedy Touray on his elevation to the position of IGP. I personally know his capabilities as we work together in the United Nations mission in Liberia, where he left a good legacy. And this is from retired police commissioner Bojang. I suppose you would know Bojang very well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Bojang. Actually, he's right. I spent 7 years, 10 months in Liberia.
Doing what? Tell us more about that. Doing what in Liberia?
I started as an IPO, that's individual police officer, and later I metamorphosed, to an international staff of the United Nations. And after the change of government, the offer came for me to come back and help, to rebuild the security institutions of this country, precisely the GID. Tough decision for me, leaving, your P4 position to come back,
P4, you're talking salary-wise now.
But then this also is not all about money in life. Sometimes, patriotism, is important for one to consider. And that was what informed my decision to relinquish that international responsibility to come back home to become a deputy director. So 1 year down the line, when my boss proceeded on statutory retirement, I was lucky to be elevated to the position of Director General.
All right. Good morning, Alaji Peter, and your invited guest, our humble IG. Peter, thank you so very much for inviting very important people to your radio station. Tell IG that we are proud of him for a job well done, but if possible, can he also help the local radio readers in local languages to other radio stations like this should be Sunyu Radio? Su Radio and King FM. King FM, I know there are so many radio stations now. People like to connect, with public officials entrusted, with various aspects of service to society. And you can tell from, some of the early messages that we are reading. I'm sure there'll be a lot of, them like that out there. People appreciate the fact that the IGP has not only stopped at sending Sisao to the radio to talk to us. I mean, when Sisao talks to us, it's you, talking to us. It's you speaking to us through him. But sometimes it's just good, to have the man at the very top connect with the people. I go to Rwanda and they tell me at least twice every year they have the privilege of having their president sit on, television and render an account to the people. This is what I promised you at the beginning of the year. This is what I have been able to achieve thanks to my team. He sits with his team. And of course, I'm also told that anybody found wanting is publicly reprimanded. And if you're lucky, you keep your job. If not, you lose the job. But, occasionally coming out through press conferences. I know you've done A couple of press conferences?
Two.
Yeah, a couple of press conferences. How important, you know, or how high up your agenda is that?
I want to do this every 90 days. Every 90 days. And also it's open. All media houses,
Fantastic.
The print, electronic, and the broadcasting medias are all invited. They are free to ask questions. I mount the podium myself from start to finish and give them answers, you know, to almost all the questions that they ask me. We don't hoard information or being economical with information. Of course, you know, some information that has security implications does not need to be shared with all and sundry.
Absolutely.
But then information that are basic, we willingly, you know, and gallantly share those information to the general public.
Absolutely. Hello, Peter. Kindly remind Inspector General about community land disputes among people in Kombo East, especially Pirang and Faraba Banta. Police put Buba Jassi and his elder brother in cell for 4 days at Mandinaba station relating to land issue in Pirang, which was unfair and injustice. I know you made a public declaration about land disputes, that you really want to, you know, clamp down on land disputes. Here's an example of how this problem is still persistent.
Interestingly, I am from this community.
Oh, you are?
Yes. I'm a native of Pirang.
Well, there you go.
And the Buba Jassi they're talking here is a brother figure.
Oh, dear.
We are from the same Kabilo. Yeah, so I'm surprised about this because this is news to me.
Maybe the problem preceded you to, you know, the IGP's office.
It's possible, but what we are doing now, we are collating all land disputes, not only in West Coast region. Of course, you know, West Coast region, you know, have more land issues than any other region in the country. But countrywide, we are collecting everything, collating all the information about land disputes, and they are sending them, you know, to the office of the IGP. Multiple land sale constitutes an act of criminality, and we are not going to take any chance on this. One person selling land to multitude of people, very innocent buyers, and then what they will do, they will backdate some of these documents. So the act involved a lot of players. And this is a very unscrupulous act that we cannot continue to have in this country. We've got to sanitize this. I know it's a tough work. It's a very gigantic task, but we are ready.
You're up for it?
Yes, we are up for it.
Fantastic. Good morning, Uncle Peter. Can you ask the IGP why they decided to recall the orderlies of all magistrates and who they consulted with to arrive at the decision? Does he know, and I think this is the interesting part of the question because you've dealt with the you know, first part of it, does he know that they are on strike as a result, magistrates on strike as a result of a withdrawal of orderlies?
I'm aware.
Oh, okay.
I'm aware.
Is that why you're having this meeting later today then?
It's more or less a crisis meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, we will reach a common ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good morning, Peter. The Gambia is very lucky to have Seedy Touray as IGP. I know him very well. He was not even DG at the time, a very brilliant man with good character. And yeah, this is from Mr. Momodu Haidara. Actually, the first commendation I read you was from Mr. Yusufa Gomez. Here's Ismail Adrame. He sounds very humble. I wish he can be able to handle situations free and fair, because he can even be a president tomorrow. Handling situations first, free and fair. When a case comes to you, how do you deal with it? And when you deal with it, what do you look at?
Thank you, Peter, and thanks to the texter.
Ismail Adrame.
Ismail, I don't even know him. But people who knew me from my early days, from the village, way up to Churchillstown, where I grew up, knows me to be a very righteous person. I try to be up to today. And I'm someone who align myself very much with the truth. I'm not sitting here to hail praises on myself, but at this age, advanced age of mine...
advanced age? Ah, in front of me you're talking about advanced age?
They say when you have less than 10 years to retire, that's when your countdown begins. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I have less than 10 years to serve. So I try as much as possible in my life to support the truth, come what may.
Fantastic. Good luck to you. Hi, Peter. Good morning. I am Sidiko Suno from Faraba Banta. Seedy Touray is a role model and a mentor to many youths in Kombo East District. I am appealing to him to consider putting speed bumps to improve road safety in Kafuta, Faraba, and Kuloro, because most of these villages have their football fields besides the roads after 4 football fans lose their lives in the lorry incident in Kafuta and injured many of them. I'm sure you know that, you know about that tragedy.
I'm aware of it, and we send our condolences to the bereaved families. And we were a part and parcel of this whole tragic incident. And Sidiku, I don't know him, but I know he's a regular texter in this program.
He is.
The speed bumps will soon be erected. The only place that he forgot is Pirang. He should have also mentioned my own hometown. Okay. He mentioned Kuloro, he mentioned Faraba, and then Kafuta. We will do this, but let's not also forget that the Trans-Gambia Highway is an international route, and some of that requires not to have a lot of,
Exactly.
Those kind of,
yeah, talk to us about this. I mean, what does it take to have, certain roads speed bumped, and you see certain roads that people feel should be speed bumped, and they're not speed bumped. So what is taken into consideration?
You can't have it on everywhere on an international route, because that route goes, the corridor goes, way up to Ivory Coast, all the way to Nigeria. So sometimes you realize, as and when it is absolutely necessary, you can have this. So villages like Kuloro, the school is located right on the highway. The football field is there. It's the same, in Kafuta, where also, you have the football field, you have the school on the highway. So these are priority areas. And when we do that assessment, we realize that there is need for them to have it. It is also the same also, in other places.
And is it the job of the police to put there, or the National Roads Authority?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
So the police decide that this is the best place for it, and the National Roads Authority does the construction.
Exactly. And we are cooperating with them. Yes, there is very good working relationship between us and them, especially the DG and his deputy, Mr. Sanya.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Peter. Tell IGP there is too much of killings and rampant corruption in government. Now, what is his stand with regard to those issues? You just said moments ago that the crime rate is coming down, gradually, but consistently. Yeah. So he seems to be, going the other way.
Yes, but when he say killings, what killings is he talking here? Because what constitutes, murder and what constitutes manslaughter or natural death is not the same. As I was coming, every morning I have, the statistics of all the major crimes that have been committed within that 24 hours.
Yes.
Sadly enough, we have, almost 2-3 natural deaths, in the bushes, of certain villages. And it is confirmed that, 2 out of that, are actually, lunatics, that have been living in the bush. So when we talk of murder, actual murder, okay, domestic violence also come into play. Let's say 2 brothers fight.
Yes.
In a compound.
Yes.
And then one happened to lose his life.
Yes.
What has the police to do with this? This is Peter and Seedy, same mother and father. Then Satan comes between them, and they fought. One lost his life. When this actual fighting was happening, the police were not there, because the police can't be everywhere at every given time.
No, they can't.
So that is something that we need to understand. So when you say also there is corruption everywhere, corruption is as old as humanity.
True.
And somebody will say the oldest trade in the world is prosecution, but corruption also, goes together with. These are vices that are very much things that we inherit. But then, by way of trying to also do our work as police officers, the crimes that have been sent to us, corruption cases that have been sent to us for us to investigate, we are very far with some of those investigations. In fact, some has already been concluded. And this dossier you are seeing here is all those files that we are having here. I can give you a rundown of all these things.
Absolutely. Since we are on that, maybe you want to give a rundown now?
Okay, no problem.
Yes, please.
No problem. Here we have updates on the following government cases under investigation. The discovery of the unbound cocaine blocks. We've finished with this investigation, and we have sent it to the Office of the Solicitor General for legal advice.
Okay.
Audit investigation on Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. On a scale of 10, I will say we are almost 8 out of 10 on this investigation. Audit investigation on IEC, audit investigation on Banjul City Council, National Assembly resolution on COVID-19 response, phase 1 and 2. Phase 1 and 2 are completed, equally sent to the Office of the Solicitor General, the legal office for advice. National Assembly resolution on 2019 audited accounts of the government and the financial statement of public agencies and institutions, city, municipal councils, area councils as well. The National Assembly resolution on the petition from concerned staff of GT board. And then it goes from 7 all the way to 9.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've also dealt with the Kergalo incident where 7 people were electrocuted. You know, that one also we done with the investigation, and we have sent it to the legal office. The rating unit at Gambia Post
GPA,
Authority,
yes.
we're done with this one also, and in fact happy to report that the recommendations from the investigation, when it was sent to the legal office, they have accepted everything. So we're now waiting, you know, to send it to the courts. So by and large, we are doing fairly well with these investigations. Let us not also forget that it's one police department that is responsible for all this. And I will say we are overwhelmed, but we are doing our level best. The joint investigation teams also are police-led. We take the lead on most of these investigations. And here I want to most profoundly thank members of the JIT, that's the Joint Investigation Team, that has conducted most of these investigations.
Fantastic. Let me read you an email from, don't go blank on me, this screen. Good morning, Peter, and to your guest, CDM Touray. The GPF have been doing some good work. However, there is still more room to improve through quality education, trainings for staff, as well as better pay to motivate them. Can CD help with the following questions or clarification? I don't understand why are our driver's licenses only valid January to December. For example, if someone is issued one in September, the expiration date is December. This is something I can't digest. Does it mean that what is in the law, or is it something else? Why can't they issue driver's licenses for 1, 3, or even 5 years? Besides, mostly between January to March every year, most drivers ply the road without valid licenses, which to me is even more dangerous. I would like them to think about this. What does he think is the reason for the road accidents, and what measures are they taking to address them? How do the police try to curb crimes in our beloved country, especially throughout our porous borders? Have a nice day. Abdullah Abu Aisha Jallo, writing from Umeå, Sweden. Lots of questions there. Driver's license, valid for only a calendar year.
Well, I know the law recognizes the license to be 3 years, and we are trying as much as possible to align ourselves with that. But then lest we also forget that every document, even immigration documents, are valid up to 31st December every year. Yes, and that's something that is also recognized by the laws, by the Immigration Act. It is the same with the police also. Driver's license, we will try as much as possible, because these are things that, you know, the transport union also are on our neck for us to be extending the validity or the duration of the driver's license.
What's so difficult about that if that's what the Constitution says? We seem to be violating the Constitution.
That's correct, Uncle P. But then you also have to understand that, you know, this is a third world country. It's also important, you know, for us to maximize revenue collection.
Yeah, rather than take 1,000 from me, take 3,000.
That's what I'm saying.
So that I pay it upfront and I have peace of mind for 3 years.
Measures are put in place. We are trying our level best. We will ensure we do this.
Okay, okay. Other questions. What is the reason for so many road accidents, and what measures are being taken to address the situation?
But when we look at statistics, especially with the creation of the Highway Patrol Unit, Bertie Harding Highway had less than 10 accidents from March of last year to December, with only 2 fatalities. Then overall also countrywide, when you check the statistics that is with us on road traffic accidents, it's on the decline.
Okay. Are you sure you get reports of every accident that happens everywhere in this country?
Every day. Every day.
Accidents are something that, don't escape the police.
There is a WhatsApp group that Gambia Police Force have. Every regional commissioner, every operations head of that region are members of this. Then you have the central operations pillar at the headquarters, which is headed by AIG, Pate Jallo. Every day this information, even a major crime at London Corner Police Station, is sent there. Then the ops pillar will filter this down. The ones that are supposed to be the know of the IGP, the major crimes, the violent ones, like I said, will be sent to me 6 a.m. every day. And these are the ones that I also share with my honorable minister for onward transmission to elsewhere. So we know every single accident that happened in the length and breadth of this country. And then when we check that statistics, I will try to get the head of the mobile traffic unit to also come here for a
Lamin
program.
Kinkoli.
Lamin Kinkoli, yes. And very hardworking, very hardworking. He's doing fantastic work. When we have these statistics, which perhaps he's even listening to me, maybe before I even move out, he'll send it to my phone.
He is listening. I was going to say...
And then we compare this with what was happening previously in the previous years and what happened last year. Honestly, you will see a difference. You will see a difference.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted the main ones. Good morning, Uncle Peter. Please, my own contribution to the program today is a humble advice to the IGP. You can't give what you don't have. I am very concerned about the security of the police. If they are not secured, they can't give us the right security. We have heard of many attacks on officers, and this calls for concern. Human rights are always biased. Police officers are human beings, and victims of crimes are also human beings. We can't give more rights to criminals than the people who are supposed to be securities of lives and property. Thank you. Do you feel that the law is somehow skewed against, police officers when it comes to, sometimes, you go, or you would know incidents that are even better, where you feel that the law is siding with, the perpetrator more than, the police who was trying to enforce the law.
It do happens. And a typical example of what he's saying is the Yuletide that's just finished. The festivities, that's the Christmas,
the Christmas season, yes.
For this period, you don't even have one single criminal act. Traffic was well managed in Banjul, Senegambia area.
Yeah, especially Senegambia. I had a lot of praise for the police this time round.
We did not hear this.
You did not?
I did not.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's where we also expect the public, even though it's our work, and we should be seen to be doing our work. But then when we also do right, it's good, to put a little bit of accolades on us. So I'm really happy with this text.
I feel guilty. Yeah. I should have shared this good news about the police on the radio. You would have heard it. Hello, Peter. Ask IGP whether it's possible to reduce checkpoints to reduce traffic congestion. Because of increased mobilities for the police, can some of the checkpoints change to roadside police mobile units to observe traffic and randomly stop vehicles and those that break traffic rules? This is coming from Musa. I suppose what Musa is trying to say, rather than have, the checkpoints right in the middle of just have them, on the roadside, they are there. And if it's for speeding, have a police officer, as you see happen with Senegalese on the road, flag you down, say,
But then when you do this, how would you expect a driver who knows that, he is carrying maybe contraband to stop at that place? He will just speed up. And you don't even have a motorbike there, perhaps, to chase the assailant. So what you end up doing is, checkpoints are necessary, even though some of the checkpoints are not sanctioned by the police leadership.
Okay. Okay. So what happens in the case of a checkpoint that is not sanctioned by the police leadership?
Most often, during weekends, personally, I go out on patrols, especially during the night.
Okay.
And if police officers realize that this is the IG, you will see that, they will start panicking because that's a checkpoint that's not supposed to be there. Sincerely speaking, I am against the idea of having numerous checkpoints within a short strip of, road.
Yes.
Let's say, from the roundabout, Brufut roundabout, Tontable, all the way to Tangier. Sometimes, I have a brother living, in Brufut. When I am going there for visitation, you realize that, there are 4 or 5 checkpoints. And I will tell them that remove this because it's not supposed to be there. So these are things that, we try as much as possible to minimize. But sometimes also to professionalize an institution takes time. And I think the appeal that I will make to Gambians is, please give us time.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Here's a very interesting contribution. Good morning, Peter. On the issue of the driving license expiry date, it seems the IGP missed that. I am currently looking at one which expires on the 12th of March, 2025. It was issued on the 12th of March, 2024. It seems they have improved on this. The validity is 12 calendar months, and this is from Francois S. Mendy of Kunkujang Mariama. So rather than everything expiring on the 31st of December of a given year, now it's, 12 calendar months validity.
Perhaps I think I'm wearing my immigration cap.
Yeah, the passport.
Thank you, Eddie Francis.
So
Thank you
it's
for
the duration of the
1 year
of the license that is still at issue.
Yes, but
People want it to go to 3 to even 5, if possible 10. Why not?
We will try.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
try.
Thank you very much, Francois, for updating us on that. Hello, Peter. Thanks for inviting the IGP. Please ask how sustainable is the operation Clear the Road?
Well, my PRO here is the deputy in that operations.
He was on the radio, I think, was it on Friday or Monday, explaining?
Yes.
They were in Brikama at the time.
They were in Brikama. We strategize on these operations because this is something that the country actually needs. When you go to busy areas like Tipagaras, Sarakunda, Banjul, Brikama, Latrikunda, you realize that there is smooth flow of traffic. The main challenge that we were having was if you ask them to leave, street vendors, give them only 1 week, they will go back there. So what we do, every police station now that is closer to that location, we convene a meeting at the headquarters and we called all of them to come and answer to us with a very strict warning that if this operation fails due to the negligence of the police, we will help them to do their job from the headquarters. And this goes with consequences. And those consequences will be there. So thank God they adhere to our advice and the work is going very smoothly. So we are optimistic that we will be able to sustain it this time around.
Fantastic. Fulo Balde. Congratulations, Brother Peter, for making available to the general public the invitation of the Inspector General of Police. Very able and hardworking gentleman, Mr. Seedy Touray. Keep it up. Keep the good work up. Kindly share with the general public the number of police staff enrolled to date. How strong is your, staff force?
I don't like to be economical with information, but this one has security implications. I won't reveal this total staff strength of the Gambia Police Force. I'm sorry.
Peter, sorry to come back again because IGP is my humble IG. Concerning our community policing, if possible, let them engage village VDC and train them in their areas of limitation to help advance community policing.
Good idea. We'll take it on board.
Okay.
We'll take it on board.
Okay. All right. Well, not everywhere has VDC. We don't have VDC in London Corner. By the way, you deliberately cited London Corner as an example because that's where I live.
Not only that.
Congrats to IGP Touray for his humility. There are still so many annoying roadblocks and police checkpoints on the highways and other roads. One of those is the roadblock at the entrance to Buyam. Do we really need it there? And this is from a former minister, Demba Ali Jao.
A DA.
DA?
Yeah,
You know everybody.
I know him.
Is there anybody you do not know?
A lot of people, Peter. You know,
this roadblock at the entrance to Boyam, is it needed there? That's Demba's question.
It is, because it's an economic checkpoint. I believe that's what DA is saying.
Yes, well,
yes. It's
because I heard some people say actually it contributes to the number of accidents, along that stretch.
How?
I don't know. That's one area I don't know. Could it be, right after a hairpin bend?
No, there is a bend.
Yeah.
When you are reaching Biam,
Yeah.
or you are exiting Biam.
Yeah.
But then, where the checkpoint is stationed, drivers or commuters that are applying that route, there is no way that you can say, that is, somehow contributing to accidents in that area. I can't make myself to believe this, and if Uncle D has some facts and figures about this, I will happily receive those information from him.
Fantastic. Good morning, Uncle Peter, to you and the IGP. Can you please ask him about the death of Ibrahim Sise and the escaped suspect, which the PR department said he escaped with handcuffs? And this is from Ansumana. I'm not sure I know this incident, but you would...
No, I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it.
So
actually, he was being transported.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to appear in court, Banjul Magistrate Court, and the magistrate was indisposed. So moving him from the cells in Banjul to Mile 2 Central Prisons was when he escaped at around Gambia High School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Unfortunate incident.
But we are on his trail. This is a matter that is a concern to all of us, more especially myself, because I'm from the same community with the victim. And the family are so devastated. I'm so sorry about this. But we think, we will be able to apprehend this person because he's a notorious criminal.
Do you suspect he might be somewhere in Senegal?
He's actually, from the last information that we got, he's around that area.
He's around that area. Speaking of, people causing trouble, there was this famous Karanta Dabo who would go into shops, broad daylight, take things and drive away in an unmarked car past police checkpoints, allegedly, and nothing is done about this.
Well, I once saw a TikTok.
Yeah.
A lady
Yes,
was
exactly.
Seriously, bitterly complaining, and even saying that if he is arrested and taken to police stations,
he should be left there to die.
Yeah, that's what he said. Well, as police, we can't do this. But what baffles me is what she alleged that Karanta will get out scot-free without the police, doing their job. Please, if she has any information or evidences of this, let him come to me.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Uncle Peter. For clarity, I would like to know what the Constitution or law states about the duration of a driving license. I understand it is supposed to be every 5 years, but instead we are changing it yearly. You've touched on that, but is the year 3? Is the constitutional recommendation 3 or 5 years?
I will have to find out.
Okay.
Because Francis just corrected me. I don't want to be corrected by somebody again.
Good morning, Peter. Can you please ask the IG, why is the police prosecutor always failing in court? Why do the police go to court without proper evidence?
Why?
Yeah.
Our prosecutors are doing fantastically well. Extremely well.
For him.
And most of the cases that we are prosecuting, we are winning. So I will be surprised if he is saying we go to court, without having proper evidence. These are lawyers, that has gone through all the legal processes, to become a lawyer. And a good number of them, are not only lawyers, but they even have their master's degree.
Okay.
I can't make myself to believe that with that level of education, they will go to court, without having the prerequisite evidences, with them.
All right. Good morning, Peter. The land in Tauto, which was reported on your radio station, the side land is now being given to some staff working at the Ministry of Lands illegally. We're just reading as is. Can you ask the IGP to please investigate the land between the Jatta family of Busumbala and former VP Aisatunjai Seedy? This land has been in dispute for years now, and it is still causing a problem. Is this one of the land disputes that have landed on your desk?
No, not specifically this one, but like I said earlier, we are receiving, collating, compiling all the land cases within West Coast and by extension the whole nation. So certainly this will be part of it, but it has not been specifically reported to the office of the IGP.
Hi, Uncle Peter. Good morning. Can you please ask the IGP why, when the police go to arrest someone, they tell you the order is from the top without identifying themselves? This is from Buba Fadera.
That's wrong. That's
So
wrong.
Sisawo just comes to me to arrest me, and if I say, why are you arresting me, Sisawo? Because I can read his name from his shirt. He simply says to me, the order is from the top.
That's totally wrong. Because in security, if you are given instructions by your principal or your superior, you make that instruction to be your own, provided it is a legal instruction. So if you are asked to go and arrest somebody, when you go, you already know the reason why the person is supposed to be arrested. Tell the person that we're inviting you to the police station based on, XYZ.
Okay.
It is your duty to tell the individual the reasons for the arrest.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the duty of the policeman.
Absolutely.
Or policewoman.
Absolutely.
Now, where he or she fails to do that, can the suspect refuse arrest?
I will advise, let him oblige. Go with them. When he gets to the station, he will know.
You never win against the police. Good morning to you and your guest, the IGP. Kindly ask him how the police can curb or stop people, and at times kids, on top of gele-geles while going to football matches or political rallies. And then the person says, a stitch in time saves 9. We see this very often, especially during Nawetans. Seedy Touray Football Club has just won a trophy. So, I mean, they have the trophy. People sit on top of a gele-gele. Very dangerous.
Well noted. We will try as much as possible to discourage that.
We'll make this the last text message, because I don't want to keep you beyond 10 o'clock here. You promised me 1 hour, so that the next time I invite you, you will come. Good morning, Mr. Gomez. Kindly ask the IGP why the police prosecutors find it so difficult to prosecute Ismaila Kante, who has been charged with taking money from people claiming to work at the State House since last year. Is this something you're...
Ismaila Kante?
Ismaila Kante, yes. Kanteh. Claiming he goes around, apparently, from this account, claiming to work at the State House and literally either blackmailing, extorting, monies from people.
But people working at State House, are they supposed to go and extort money?
No.
People like this so-called Ismaila might even be someone who does not even work at this State House. Because I know people working at the office of the president are very dignified people.
Absolutely.
I can't make myself to believe that somebody working in the highest office of the country, he will go out, illegally extorting money from people. But then the texter, the police will be very happy. The closest police station to him, let him go and report this.
Fantastic. Seedy, it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to keep you any minute longer here. But from your interaction with the public, all right, what message have you received, have you deduced from the text messages from, the public about public GPF, Gambia Police Force relations?
Well, we want to, and I want to be on record to say this, the police are human beings. Police officers are Gambian citizens. Police officers are equally educated Gambians. Police officers know the law. Within our ranks, we have more than 10 lawyers. Message to Gambian people is for us to be law-abiding. Our duty, our responsibility is something that we will not compromise. But we appreciate also the cooperation we are getting from the civilian population. Most often, information leading to the arrest and apprehension of criminals, information are being shared by civilians. And we cherish this approach. And this goes in furtherance to the community policing that we earlier discussed. So once again, we say a very big thank you.
Well, the question was meant to ask you, what you felt about the pulse of the public. Do you feel that the public appreciate what the police are doing, and after your explanation that, they understand the problems you encounter and now realize that you are probably giving your best under very difficult circumstances and have shown, an appreciable degree of cooperation.
Peter Sabu du fort bopam.
Why could Racha Taisa?
Why could Racha Taisa?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's Inspector General of Police, Seedy Muktar Touray. We're really very appreciative of his kindness this morning to join us. We wish him a safe ride back to police headquarters and, a good meeting over the withdrawal of orderlies.